So did you have a best friend growing up?
Yeah, I had a girl in school named Judy Brookbank. Yeah, put it in there. And she and I were little. I was the shortest one in my class, and I was little. I didn't weigh but about 30-some pounds when I started school. I was little. And she and I were friends. And Jackie Fields, which they lived in this, they had a furniture store, and they lived in this house that's catty cornered now, that's about to fall down.
Yeah.
They lived there, and we ran around together and did stuff. And Jackie lives in Florida now, but she drives up, she flies up here and visits. And I see Judy once in a while. She out when we're going somewhere else. Just say about
So did you like when you first got your very first paycheck of your own? Did you go and buy anything in particular? You remember?
I don't remember. I was working at Woolworths and
How old were you when you started that?
probably 16.
Okay, so you're still at home.
Yeah, I lived at home all the whole time I worked there. I didn't leave home until after I graduated from nursing school. I lived in the apartment a little bit while I was living with that lady.
Yeah.
Just because I needed to ride. But I really was stayed home, my whole.
So was it hard to leave? I mean, it was a pretty big family.
No, not really. I don't think. I really didn't leave until I got married the first time. Really much.
Yeah.
We got married, and that's when I moved to Alaska. And to me, that was an adventure, and I thought it was great. I'd call home, and Mom would cry.
I'm
And
sure.
I was fine, but she wasn't fine. But hey, there's tea in the refrigerator.
Oh,
There's
she really gets tea. So.
she rarely gets tea.
Yeah, I can't drink it. My throat swells up.
Oh,
So
you know what?
my mom did the same thing.
That's what I was fixing to say. Your
Yeah.
mama could not drink tea. I think this is
I mean, I
right.
love tea, but I just can't do it. So,
Well, there's some drink somebody's brought in. Yeah, she did too. You'd have to watch Violet because she would, she did. We'd go out and she'd have to order water.
yeah. So were there any like hairstyles or anything like that you remember that were popular back then?
Or, maybe what was your routine to get dressed up when you were going out and you wanted to look good?
I don't know. I just. I mean, Mama made our clothes. Now let me tell you this.
Oh, she made them by hand?
Mama made our clothes, and when we were little, until I got to working where I could buy my own clothes, most of them were made out of feed sacks.
Really?
Do you remember? You probably never remember that you bought feed in bags.
The burlap.
That was you bought feed, and the feed bags were decorated. They were made out of material, and then you took the feed bags and Mama made our clothes.
Yeah. I know I've heard about the flour sacks.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, I guess, earlier maybe.
No. Well, probably by the time Violet came along, Mom wasn't good at much, but with me and Ben and Juanita were coming along. More or less, it was,
Yeah. Because then I heard that the flour companies started competing over who could have the better patterns on their bags.
Yeah. I mean, they came already, and they were
Yeah.
patterns. And then she'd sew our dresses, because you didn't wear pants back then or shorts. You wore dresses all the time.
Yeah.
So was it a big deal then to get a new dress?
Yeah, we thought it was something to get a new dress.
And would you get to pick out a pattern, or did she?
I think it's just what she had or what they had bought to feed it.
Mm-hmm. But even like a dress pattern, construction.
Oh.
So, when you sit down, I guess you think about it, but you don't think about it on a routine basis.
Yeah.
So did you learn how to sew? Did she teach
No,
you?
I did home ec, but I never did. Now, Betty and Juanita both have sewing machines in both. Now, Miss Capps is a lady that used to live over here where Nick lives now, beside of Jennifer on the other
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
And for a long time, I would stay with her at night. She was a real old lady, and they didn't want to stay by herself, and I'd go over there and sleep every night.
Wow.
So for a long time, I would stay with Miss Capps.
Awesome.
But you don't think about those things till you sit down and start
Yeah.
thinking about them.
Yeah. I mean, our family definitely has some history in this area. So, I mean, I remember, I know Grandpa owned a ton of property across the, you know.
And he owned everything from this big house right here, the house in the Forks.
Yeah.
He owned all of that all the way over on the other side of his where Jimmy lives. He owned all of that, where the Forts house is, and all that was my great grandfather. And my great grandfather lived with Grandpa and Grandma, and he would go and he would go and sit at the pack house. They had a pack house where they did their tobacco and stuff, and and a lot of the grandchildren were afraid of him because he was real old and but I'd go down there and sit and talk to him. I thought he was strange. And then I remember he got cancer, and Grandma put him in a room, and he wasn't allowed to come out, and we weren't allowed to go in. We could not see him or anything, because back then, when we were little, they considered that contagious.
Oh, wow.
And then when he died, I remember they burned everything in his room, like his bedroom suite. Everything in his room they took to this bonfire and did it because they were afraid, and they're afraid that some of us would catch what he had.
So, do you remember any of the stories he used to tell you?
Not really. I remember the day that my grandpa Hodgson got killed. He got killed by a saw.
Yeah, I heard that.
I remember Grandpa telling me about that.
Yeah, he got, and Daddy was there. And
Grandpa
Daddy
was
got
there,
hurt.
right?
Huh?
Grandpa was there when it happened, wasn't he?
Yeah, he got hit.
Yeah.
He got hit with a piece of wood. And he came home and he said, and his tenant lives where Jimmy lives now. And Grandma came in the house and she saw him, and her tenant was laying on the ground with his head cut off. The saw went out. The saw came off the blade and it was cut his head off. And Grandma came out of the house and saw all that. And they said Grandma had a heart condition. And everybody was all concerned about, something was going to happen to Grandma, because she had seen all this with Grandpa and with Mr. Collins. And I told them, and by then I was in nursing school. And I said, no, I said, Grandma, if she came out of the house and she saw all this on the ground, and everybody laying on the ground out there, I said, and she didn't have a heart attack and die then, her heart's better than y'all think it is.
Yeah.
So what happened? I haven't heard this.
They had a long time ago, they had these saws, and you put them on the back of a pickup truck, and it had a big blade on it. And
Basically a sawmill cut whole
yeah,
trees.
yeah, and they were in the backyard over at Grandma's, and they were sawing wood. And Daddy was there, and Grandma, and Mr. Collins, and they revved it up. And when I did, the blade came off the saw, and it went and cut Mr. Collins, and the piece of wood hit Grandpa right up here, and he lived about 12 hours. And then another piece of wood hit Daddy. But Daddy was able to come home after, he wasn't admitted, but Grandpa lived about 12 hours.
That's horrific.
Yeah, very.
So,
Grandpa used to love to take off his shoe and sock and chase me around with the 4 toes because he was missing
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Did he never do that to you?
But I remember the toe.
So, but every Sunday, we went to church. I always went to church up here, and every Sunday after church, we went to Grand Davis's for lunch, and we went to Grandma Hodgins for supper. Every Sunday, you went to your grandparents.
Yeah.
And was that a fun time for you, or?
Yeah, because I had Well, more so, I think at Grandma Hodgins, I had more cousins my age. See, I was the oldest girl, but I had a cousin named Jerry that was older than me, Jimmy's brother, and he died when we were I guess probably about 20-some, with cancer of the leg. And, but see, I had him, and then I had Martha, my other cousin, that was only 6 months younger than. So I had a lot of cousins and stuff. And there was one time I remember I would go to Grandma's. We always loved to go to Grandma Hodgins. Granny Davis was kind of stuck up like, you know how she more so.
I think you're probably too young to remember
I
Granny
do
Davis.
vaguely.
So-
But Grandma Hodgin, you know, was so. And me and Jerry would go do things, and we'd go down in the woods, and we'd. So one day, we went over across the bridge, and behind where that Grandma and his house is, used to be all black. Behind that, when you got to Grandma's house, everything else behind them was black. Well, we were over there playing, me and Jerry were, and they were getting ready, and they had supper, and they had been fishing, and they had caught fish. So, of course, they invited me and Jerry in to have supper. Well, we were missing them because they didn't know where we were. Everybody was out looking for us. We come home, and they were having a fit. Where had we been? And we said, well, we went over to Donnie's, and we had supper. Well, I thought they was going to have a heart attack because we had eaten at a black person's house. They said we weren't supposed to eat that food. It wasn't. You know, they just really,
Wow.
they had a fit because, you know. And I remember one day I was out, and there was a whole bunch of those black kids, and we would play. We would all play together. And I come in the house one day, and I had on Mom's hat. And I thought my grandma was going to have a fit because she said that they had cooties.
Real cooties.
Cooties, and I would get cooties off this hat.
Yeah, I remember Grandpa. I remember making some comments growing up too that made me uneasy.
I mean, if he was living now in Grandpa, Daddy would probably be really upset. I mean, with the way things are, the way people live now, and
Yeah,
because he was, you know.
that's all I know.
Well, even my husband probably would have been. My last husband probably would have been. So, but over there, and these people kept it to themselves. They didn't try to interfere. They would come, but she would come. One of the ladies would come and clean Grandma's house. And I know when Grandpa died, we all went to Grandma's and to the funeral. And one of them was walking, and it was a good ways to the church from where they lived because he was at Rehoboth, and we tried to get them to ride with us, you know, in the cars and stuff, but they wouldn't do it. They walked. They would not ride in the car with us to the funeral.
Um,
I'm sure they were uneasy.
yeah, I'm sure.
What is it? Okay, set them right there where in that pan right there. Don't set them on the counter. Set them in the pan if it's hot. Soon we'll move this table. I mean, we'll open up this table.
Are you gonna ask something?
Huh? You gonna ask any more?
I'm sure we could go all day.
We probably could go all day, but
It's up to you if we need to stop and
Yeah.
start getting dinner ready.
yeah. Well, thank you, June. I appreciate it.
You'll have to let me see this every often. Oh Lord, we'll have to throw it away.
No.